so powerful, and paiN get to do that in both series or in both games. It's not really a series; it's just two disparate games. But the bigger issue is not only do paiN get to decide the map in the first set of vetoes, in the second set of vetoes, Shark's first ban is just outright gone. They don't get another veto. Vertigo's taken out as their first veto, so paiN gets to set the tone with the first two. Then Sharks get 2 bans, and then paiN get another ban on top of that. So paiN not only get their luxury of when to ban, but also get an extra ban on that second best of one in the evening. It just seems like it puts so much into the favor of the higher seeded team. It makes things all the more difficult for a team like Young Sharks to have any momentum or any confidence going into this. But we aren't going to have a long time to talk. We're straight into the action. And speaking of the action, biguzera taking the fight in middle down towards the slope. Does not find anything in valley. And it's going to be a B play, but Togs is here to shut it down. 3 from jail, a 4th towards the player at Van is not going to come through. Kawes blindsides from below, but a 1v3 with your back against the wall in a very literal sense does not feel like Kawes has what it takes to get this pistol round across the line.
No, it doesn't. I feel like we're going to see a Sharks pistol round win, and 2 in a row for them as well, going back to the second half of Vertigo. Really good read, too, putting all that pressure in towards mid, the triple stack towards B. paiN walked right into the bear trap, and they got crunched. Doc with the last kill, but it seemed inevitable at that point. Sharks with that pistol round victory. And a good chance here to build things on their CT side. Just that 4-8 record for them. 41.4% T side, 50% CT. Does not bode too well for Young Sharks. But they get out to the best start possible with that pistol. All they have to do is shut down the Glocks that are coming forward here from paiN Gaming. Now a deagle for Kawes, and that's about it. Nothing else invested for the T's, and I don't think that Kawes is going to be faced with too much here. He should be shut down relatively easily. Suplex going for the Ultra Eco, wanting to get that op up as early as possible. Just armor and a USP. Don't see that all too often at this level of play. And Doc now spotted. Should not overstay his welcome.
Should not. Kawes, though, the one pistol you mentioned, the deagle at ramp, finds suplex. That was the USP. DRG getting close. Should have this kill dead to rights, though, unless Kawes hits a crazy shot. Kawes forward, spots the player downstairs, misses the shot. Here's the swing, but just can't get ready for it. DRG swings, finds the kill by 1,000 paper cuts. 4 versus 4, and no critical pistols means this round should be under wraps. Togs, though, Dink needs to be careful. He does have support from Doc, who should hopefully get this round done and dusted. Takes a dink as well, but those Glocks aren't going to get kills like that. They need 3 or 4 at that range. And if one thing is going the way of Sharks, it is the fact that they got to start CT on both maps. I think that means they won the knife round. We don't get to see them, and there is a knife round in both best of ones, so I would assume they won it here to start on the defense. Suplex, despite falling, he will still have that op in hand for round number 3.
It would have been nice for him to save the armor. It could have enabled extra utility, maybe a sidearm, but he still has the vest and the big green gun. Sharks looking to try and shut down this gun round. A technical pause called here, unsure by whom, but that means we'll have a bit of a pause in the action here. The MP9 still out for RDN as well, who actually was not in the game last map. And I'm drawing a blank as to who it was in his place.
RDN wasn't in the server the last game?
I believe he wasn't.
I can check. I can confirm, but I think he might have been. Sounds
like
we're having a technical problem.
Oh, Gaffolo was out, RDN in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe some roster shenanigans going on, maybe some required stand-ins, but there's a technical pause. We didn't see anybody disconnect, so maybe we'll have a player return to the server. We'll have to see exactly what happens there. Could have also been that that player disconnected and it just duplicated a person over. There's a lot of quirky things that can happen in Counter-Strike. All we know is there was a technical pause for a reason. But paiN do have rifles out. They are prioritizing the AKs heavily. They only have about 2 sets of utility a person. That means the take is going to be less than ideal, maybe a little bit hamstrung. We'll have to see which direction they go. And my question is, how are they going to pivot around that op? And where's that op going to go? Is it going to go ACT spawn? Is it going to go mid window, mid connector? There's a lot of places you can play the op successfully. So we'll have to see exactly where the Young Sharks Sharks want to place it. As you mentioned, there are 2 SMGs in play. They're on Ardian Sao and DRG. Suplex sees in window. He will find the first. That's Lux, the heavy hitter from the last map, taken down early on. They're wondering how that op would fare in these early rounds.
And they boost Doc up into ladder room as well. Togs getting burned a little bit, has to retreat and loses half his health on Catwalk. biguzera getting control of Khan. Jump spotting, doesn't see anything yet. Kawez under, great flash in. Doc removed. That evens things out at 4 apiece. But that op from Suplex still an ever-present danger. paiN stuck in mid. No entry anywhere else just yet. Suplex keeping an eye on Catwalk, knowing there was at least 1 player in that vicinity. Kawez waits for that smoke to fade. Suplex wary of his backside, too. There's nobody in CT. The 2 B players heavily invested on apartments. And paiN are backing up, throwing a smoke deep. Now towards top Con. I think a lot hinges on Kawez here. Suplex working it all down to timing, and he gets caught the wrong direction. NQZ hits another wallbang through the smoke. Kawez, another headshot. Ardian Zhao, last alive in apartments. He'll have to make it his home. Although Kawez is on the prowl. M4 spray converted. Doesn't take a single point of damage. Ardian. NQZ next in line as it's a full hunt play here from paiN. They want to bring it now on RDN and Sharks economy, which still is not fantastic this early on in the game. RDN with another one, however, still in van. nyezin and biguzera beginning to close in on the last remaining Shark in the server. I guess they're just going to play exits very passively. Particularly nyezin is very low. Bigu's got an op, so he's going to save that for NQZ in the next round. So RDN will survive. Got a couple of exits there. But paiN get their gun round number 1 on the board, and bigu gets the kill. The Glock in hand to take down Ardian Zhao. And that is an unfortunate loss for young Sharks. And look how this changes the buy scheme.
Yeah, we have to have a big compromise for DRG in this one. On just the Deagle, there's no kit. Utility very much lacking. We have, what, 3 smokes, a Molotov, and 2 flashes. That's all. The op as well for NQZ, as you mentioned, that was picked up by biguzera. Very swift change of fortune for paiN, as they are now in the driver's seat. And if they win this 4th round, they should get a 5th by extension, or a 3rd. They should win the 5th to make a 3rd by extension. Aggression from Ardian Sao, though, totally unexpected by Kao as a double before the op could trade. That's a big pair to find. Dogs another on Deluxe. biguzera on Catwalk, now a lot to do. He spotted one. There's a flank in from Togs, and that proves to be too much. Too many angles for him to worry about. Still a minute 15 left in the round, and NQZ is locked in towards apartments. He has the bomb on his back, but he's been isolated at this point. Young Sharks locking him in. Question is, will they force the fight, or will they just let him be uncomfortable in apartments?
Well, NQZ is going to walk into Togs here, jumps up, makes noise. Togs knows what's coming, and Togs delivers the finishing blow. Isolated round victory for paiN. The AK not gotten over to Doc. And now, back to the drawing board for paiN. Pistols. Maybe just 1. NQZ could get an upgrade. He could also save for the op. The latter looks to be the case for him. Just the Deagle for Lux, who has yet to open his account. Same for nyezin here on map number 2. Or the second isolated best of 1. It's technically the second map between these 2 teams, but its own individual entity. Lots of noise made in Palace, but paiN are just going to back away off the back of it. Leave the bomb in Pal? Are they doing what sneak. I think they're doing?
QB sneak.
Uh-huh.
Who has the bomb? It's number 11, NQZ. The Deagle again in hand, this time for Lux. Far quieter on the second series, or second match. Duplex drops Kawez on the cross. They're all spotted. Togs lines up too. Bomb caught. QB sneaking. Ardian Sao is wise to the trick. And the only hope that paiN Gaming had in the round was that bomb plant. It's gone. bigu, though, I'm going to be dead. find something here. Oh, tag.
Oh, that's
Minnows
unlucky.
here now. That's so unfortunate. Caught by togs. And paiN Gaming, that round thoroughly isolated now by 2 rounds on either side. Young Sharks as well, building a flawless in round number 5 means they'll have good economy with which to fall back on if they hit hard times.
And hard times come quickly for the CT side. You lose a round, you win a round and lose 4 players, you're going to be pretty strapped for cash moving forward. Utility flying forth, both teams preparing their setups. Default out for paiN. NQZ's op peeking out towards A, behind the flames. Has not been gifted an opening. Cowes flashing himself forward. That blinds the op of Suplex, who's still going to stick around on the balcony. Drops the smoke and sticks around. Finally drops off of the angle. That was a little overzealous from Suplex. He could have easily found himself in a world of hurt. Doc, luckily able to hide in the cool smoke of Connector. Great nade on Deluxe, and around the edge of the smoke, Doc swings for a nice opener. biguzera removed. Another slow start for the Starman of paiN. And Lux so low, trying to creep back in. Could catch a timing, though. Doc and Togs have abandoned Con. And Lux, has he been spotted by CT? That's the other question.
He got spotted by CT. I think he did. He's going to scale forward. You're just spotting top stairs. His firebox play, though, we saw it against the QB sneak. Surely they clear him again. Surely they've learned their lesson, but Artie and Sal's been left. 30 seconds left in this round for paiN. Bomb is slowly migrating around. Young Sharks have a very solid setup. A far back setup on A and a crossfire on B. Togs takes down Cowes. Was a bit of a fake. Young Sharks probably realized that at this stage. Nyezin, bomb on back, will scale forward. And again, this firebox play, this double up in CT, might just be what unseats paiN. This last minute plant. Good one for NQZ. The push comes in. The plant can't be stopped, though. It's going to be chaos now as Lux and NQZ find 1 and 2. Suplex and Togs. Left is a final pair. Togs flashed and blinded in CT. Can't get the kill. The last alive is Suplex and Ladder, and he has no horse in this race. Somehow paiN navigate tumultuous waters and find safe harbor. A second round secured, but to harken back to Vertigo, they feel a little bit rudderless right now, Boggs.
Yeah, much like that T set on Vertigo, which they did very well on. They won 10 rounds. Mirage seems to be the same, sort of rely on individual brilliance and sort of aimlessly meander about the map. Suplex will save the op. There's nobody in his vicinity to take that away from him. But a very lucky round for paiN. One wrong shot, and that round's over. Bomb went down in the nick of time. We get a technical pause, another one here.
So we do.
I'm wondering if it's Bigu, because he's the only one who hasn't done anything yet.
Could be. You're right, he hasn't invested at all. Also looking at the players that were expected to be playing today for Sharks, because I was curious. You mentioned it was Gaffalo who was absent. It said we were going to have Togs, Artie, and Sao, DRG, Gaffalo, and Doc playing according to HLTV prior to that, prior to the game. So Suplex is the one that we weren't expecting to see, yet he's been present in both maps, both series. So very interesting how things are kind of evolving over there on the Sharks side. I'm wondering what's going on, who their original 5 should have been. But I can only just make conjectures to what it could be. We are back on cams. We are having a technical problem, as you all saw. Hopefully it's a brief one, but we'll have to wait and see. But as we talked about, paiN, some worrying undertones on this T side, feeling kind of directionless, feeling like they're kind of just going with the flow, and it's not really suiting their style well whatsoever.
Not even going with the flow. It's just almost like a haywire rudder. It's just moving on its own, controlling it, because it's not like they're going with the current. They're just kind of going back and forth and up and down and peaking and not peaking, and there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, and that last round was won solely because the player firebox was just a little bit too far away.
Yeah.
They were operating under the assumption they had a site. They didn't even have that. They got lucky when it came down to the very end of that map or end of that round in the chaos. So very worrying for paiN as they find themselves on the back foot. They do secure that round. It was touch and go throughout, but they do secure it in the end. Young Sharks, though, can very well punish and isolate that victory yet again.
I think Young Sharks are in a good spot here on the CT side. They're putting up rounds early. They're winning rounds confidently. They're winning fights as well. They look composed as we get back into this one. Double op now for the Young Sharks. RDN Zhao picking up that secondary boomstick. Lux, nyezin, and biguzera all at 1 kill apiece. Another problem for paiN right there. Starman from the last map and Starman in general. Just the solitary kill.
Individual's not waking up. Lux jumping up in the window. An aggressive call. Togs is boosted up, though, on the bricks. Lux, though, has slipped to gap. Shep 2. 1, 2. A third. He's heard. A third. He's secured. nyezin chimes in for the fourth. Blink of an eye. Nardi and Sal's left alone. There's the aggression. There's the direction we were hoping to see. And it pays dividends with that aggressive press into the window. Lux, a hero, securing 3, quadrupling his kills in a single round. Last live's already in Sal. They know he's towards B. Probably towards the apartments with an op in hand. biguzera might just catch him on this time. No. Already in Sal's wise to it, but the information's been given. The op's going to have a far harder time trying to save now.
It will not be saved, nor will the AK. RDN Zhao picked up as well. You go for the double op, you have to find success, or you find yourself broke. Look at the money for Young Sharks. It's non-existent. 4 players around the $2,000 mark. Plus or minus 100 there. RDN Zhao, a deagle. Maybe a vest, but he's probably going to save for an op here, so no further investment from Young Sharks. Just the deeg for RDN Zhao. Everyone else on USPs. No utility, no kit. They're going to throw bodies at the problem out middle. In the meantime, paiN Gaming all gathered around a ramp ready to explode into the site utility going forward. A MAC-10 for Big U to try and farm and build some confidence. Lamp flash up for NQZ. Second flash going high. Lux prepared for firebox. The rotation streams on through. Lux sprays wild. He's got 3, making a back-to-back quad. This time against the pistols. Only 1 kill. I don't think Big is going to get to that AK from Kawaz either. So 1 rifle is dropped, but still overall very successful round again thanks to Lux, who has got all 8 of his kills in the last 2 rounds.
Individually fiery hot. His kills come in clumps. Very well done from him. Suplex has his op to challenge the likes of NQZ now, but a very different look from NQZ, or from paiN and NQZ, I should say. He said they were kind of rudderless, directionless, going wherever they saw fit. Those last 2 rounds were very determined, very set from the start, and that is the paiN we want to see. It's like more of the same now. Grouped up in towards apartments. RDN South spotting for the early information. He'll fall back. There's not much utility left to stymie a take. There's no Molotovs left to stop them. They'll come out. biguzera finds the first. A second for Kawaz. Togs does find 1, but he's caught by that MAC-10. Suplex trying to find inroads, but the op is not going to press forward. It'll get 1. It'll fall away. Do they want to go for this 2 versus 3 is the question. No kit, no utility.
I think it all depends if Suplex can get 1 here.
Yeah. No one's going to present a kill there. Oh, he spotted the head! Suplex! Gets that. DRG, though, is legged by NQZ and Get Right. That was a heads-up play from the op. DRG gets NQZ. By sticking around, they might just find it. Op picked up by DRG. He has to go for the defuse. He's going to stick it. Spot comes in. biguzera gets 1. Spots the second. Nade into sight. DRG's going to fight. He will fall. Still, that round very close to being in Young Shark's favor. Very heads-up jump spot onto the player's site. And a good dual 1 towards Get Right onto NQZ. Young Sharks showing us they have what it takes to at least make this one contentious.
Such a good spot there from Suplex. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't equate into a round victory. The rest of Young Sharks going for a half buy here. Suplex just investing into the deagle. Ardian Zhao and Doc, Desert Eagle armor, 5-7 armor for DRG, and Togs on the MP9. 1 smoke, 2 smokes, and a flashbang. One of those smokes used out middle. It goes a little deep, though. That gives biguzera the angle. The rest of Young Sharks will have to back away. paiN, slow through apartments. Smoke's going down. Ardian Zhao, get right, he's going to get dropped. Lux, another kill for him. Really picking up the pace in these last few rounds. Suplex out middle, eats the nade from biguzera. It's the nade to finish it. The span that started it all. A missy spray from Lux, and Kawez will trade him out. But again, Young Sharks being picked apart by the individuals, much like the bulk of that T side on Vertigo for paiN. Stuff like that. Crisp headshots, good bursts that win the fights.
biguzera is acting as a screen. He's holding rotations in the middle. Team will go A, team will go B, but he's always consistently there, throwing utility, throwing distractions, and trying to catch players rotating connector or catwalk. He's doing quite well for himself as well. I was worried he might get overwhelmed by pistols in that round, but he holds his ground and he plays it correctly. Buy comes through for Young Sharks immediately. Lacking utility on Doc. There is a kit, though, for DRG. There is an op for Suplex, and there is good utility otherwise, so all things considered, it looks good. The question is, can they hold a candle to paiN now that they have their direction in mind?
Yeah, paiN's got the momentum, but a good flash push for Doc opens things up. biguzera up, the playing out mid again. Gets picked off. Now the IGL will have to call from the command center. DRG has Lux on a bladder, and Kawez is marooned on site and sandwiched. Another one for DRG as Doc swings for a brace as well. nyezin tried to 1v5 this, but he cannot find more than one. 5th round for Sharks now on the CT side. paiN get obliterated. Of course, they have money to buy into the next. But Young Sharks knocking on the door of a tie ball game as we get to the last round of the first half here on Mirage. Young Sharks making this one interesting early. A much better start than they had on Vertigo. But again, the T side is statistically their weakness. And that is what is up next for them as well. The smoke dropped in spawn. I'm not sure what the point of that was, but look at this mid push. Doubles up.
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize on the confidence they showed in the round prior, and it does work out. 2 for 1. Dogs is low, though. This is still doable for paiN. They group up for a B play. Good nade on the nyezin. Kawez, though, scaling out immediately. Will he expect the player close? He will now, but Ardian Zhao still finds one in spite of it. Kawez needs to do a lot. Needs to be careful as well. The op catches his side, knocks him down to 11. All 3 players in towards Market. The nade doesn't. Kawez leaving just NQZ on an unwieldy op versus 3. Getting grab bomb and go elsewhere, but 2 players there, no chance. Tied ball game as we hit the halftime break.
Back in action here, a level playing field between Young Sharks and paiN Gaming on Mirage. The second of these two best of ones today. Vertigo, a 13-8 victory for paiN, a 10-2 start for them. A little bit of a rocky finish, but Sharks have kept pace with paiN so far on Mirage. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the mic here with you all tonight. And DRG and company have a couple of P250s on Suplex and Togs, both raid bosses. DRG is all that util. No upgraded pistols for the CTs. They do have a defuse kit on NQZ, but they do also have a Molotov of smoke. And a flash available as well. Big U gets hit with that smoke, and he'll drop off stairs. 3 players in the vicinity of A, as in come Young Sharks. Togs and players ready to run on through. Big U around the smoke. Only good for one, however. Doc spamming away, looking for a second. There's a little bit of chip damage on drive-by as the bomb goes down. That's a victory for Young Sharks. Now they want the round. Kit available for NQZ again. They have to make their way on through a 4v4 retake. Not going to be easy against the Glocks. The flash for Doc to escape. As 3 USPs train up CT, ready to push onto site. About 20 seconds have elapsed. Cowes needs the kills here. 1 and 2 on the P2K. That's huge. Togs and Palace drops a pair. But the bomb was defused. NQZ hops off. The knife is out. It's missed. It's left. He's dead. And DRG just in the nick of time. The defuse comes through. Lux puts DRG down. And paiN escape with victory in the pistol. So close for Young Sharks, and yet so far, the knife, the spam, all too little too late. And paiN were able to steal that one away. Another crazy round victory down to the wire for paiN Gaming.
The knife would have done it. It got 2 swipes in. The issue was Lux covered his teammate, got the headshot through the smoke without taking down his comrade at like 12 or 10 HP. Huge win for them to steal away. But the bomb plant means that Young Sharks are going to have another bat at it. They're going to go for a force by Tech 9, Mac 10, Deagle, Galil, and AK. Very scary proposition. DRG dropping that AK over to Artie and Sal. Angle on the Famas. The labored spray does a lot of damage to Doc. Young Sharks will be spurred into the site by that duel. Cowes, biguzera, NQZ all shut them down. However, the last alive is Suplex. AK in hand, sure, but blindsided from the side by Cowes. Individuals for paiN heating up, and Young Sharks now getting shut down. We said they were going to have a tougher time on this T side given their stats, but this has been a very, very tough go at it. Looks like we're going to have a technical pause. The tactical timer popped up, but it looks like we have had a disconnect on the Sharks side of the server.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you there and assume it is a technical issue, as Doc has abandoned the server. Not abandoned, he's disconnected because either he's restarting his PC or whatever the case may be. He had to DC, but paiN running away with this right now, Nate, as we'll pop on for just a second to fix that HUD. But that hold against the force buy, absolutely impeccable. Flawless on the anti-force is so good for that CT economy. Now with the 2-round lead as well, should be a third as there's just 3 Deagles, 2 Glocks, a flash and a smoke opposing them. The MP9 for nyezin as well, able to farm all the cash he wants. This is the prime opportunity for paiN to take control of this map and really seal the deal.
Yeah. And what was a scrappy first half with a convincing second. NQZ in middle, pushed up, spots them, throws a nade after his teammate does so much damage. 1 kill secured, and virtually a second and third, given how low they really are. Yep, complete shutout. 4 for NQZ, 1 for Cowes, and a complete annihilation in middle. Not a kill to be spoken of for the Sharks. paiN extend their lead to 3. This is where the Sharks have to put their foot down, or things will kind of just spiral from here. They have full AKs, they have good utility. Now they need the strat to back it up.
What is the strat, Nate? That is the question. Nades flying forth. No damage taken by Young Sharks, despite the artillery thrown by paiN. DRG Slowly but steadily working in through under. Ardian Zhao hiding in the cubby will not get pushed by Bigu. Instead, paiN will elect to play a little more conservative here, not wanting to overstick their necks and die. Cowes, though, holding under, gets the first. Lux doubles up, one with a nade, one with the rifle, and in the blink of an eye, Sharks are down to 2, and paiN with a bang-bang play have taken a critical 3-man advantage very early still in this round.
Just crossing that minute mark. They're known, suspected to be in Palace. Second at ramp appears to be known as well. Togs is leading the server in terms of kills. But will that be enough to bail his team out of this 2 versus 5? That's the question. Probably not. Pushing to Palace now. nyezin getting control with the MP9. Togs and Suplexes at least grouping up, I suppose, towards ramp, but 20 seconds left, and again, that full fleet, full 5 of paiN against them does not seem feasible in the slightest. Smoke down on the site to masquerade a bomb plant, perhaps. I'll scale forward slowly. Lux top stairs, not overextending. Catches 1. Team kill from biguzera, but that's the only casualty in the round. 10-6, 3 rounds separate paiN from victory. No bomb plant for Young Sharks means they're going to be on a weird half-buy / shoddy investment going into round number 17. Just like paiN are just running away with this one at this stage.
I think that's the best way to put it. A tactical timeout used here. This time, officially a tactical timeout by Sharks. It's not going to come into a full buy, though, which is always something that you and I talk about a lot in these broadcasts, is when teams call attack pauses going into a half buy eco round. Now, there's not much room left for Sharks to wiggle in. They're running out of racetrack, or you might say they're getting pushed to shore. I don't hate it now since they have all 3. And if paiN get this, it's 11. But it's not a good spot to be in for Sharks. If anything, they are backs up against the wall, nowhere to run. They're already cornered.
They are. They're going to cobble together a weird half-buy / partial investment for Togs. It makes sense. Got to enable him. He is, as I mentioned, top of the server at 18 kills. A little in his hand. 4 deagles surrounding. Does have teeth. Sharks are going to have to frag individually out of their minds if they want to steal away this round. And Bigu is not going to be keen on letting that happen. Finds the first. Good start. Sharks do have middle control, sure, but what can they do with that?
Well, they do have those replaceable rows of teeth too, Nate, so maybe they have a little something they can do with new teeth. Not as sharp.
No resurrection in this game, okay? There's no coming back. Togs will yank a tooth out of paiN Gaming at least, but still a long way to go.
Yeah. There's a long way back into this. The gun's not salvaged yet either. Lux with the spot. Rotates out, but suplexed. That's a nice little shot with the deagle. Gets the man advantage to Sharks. The site controlled. And that's an extra gun to be used as well. They have armor behind this buy. No utility to hold with. Just one singular flash. But the retake utility for paiN is lacking. Oh my gosh, they're
gone. They're out. How did they not punish the run-up catwalk? That's my question. They had players top con. I don't know if there was a smoke up to masquerade it, but I thought there wasn't. And they are saving. It's the conservative call. It makes sense. You don't want to give rifles to these half-buying players, but I also feel like they had a reasonable chance of retaking the site at least.
Molly, nade, smoke, flash. 2 flashes. They had time. That's a very timid call from paiN. Not something I normally expect to see from them.
No. They have plenty of money to reinvest. So they will do so. Cow is going for an A4. Love to see that. Lux, what will his buy be? Probably an A1S if I had to guess, but we'll wait and see. Smoke top mid. We They're a double op. I didn't even notice Lux spot one to complement NQZ.
Oh, yeah. Lux on the secondary op is interesting because his rifling ability has been nothing short of impeccable for paiN in this series.
I think he wants to get control of apartments, press forward with that very small angle.
Ooh.
Igu, though, also pressuring on the other extremity towards A and ramp, and he's caught, punished by togs. NQZ, though, sticking around with the op in hand, he might get shot from above. This play from togs is very heads up. I was just praising him, but NQZ is wise to the trick. Very good trade. The 4 versus 4 does still favor the T's. Speaking of, Doc has gotten connector control, cleared it out entirely. This is a power position that his team can just pivot off of based off information. nyezin taking up stead and ramp. Ruling the bomb, but loses the fight early. And NQZ tagged down to 12, will swing and finding nothing. Young Sharks looking to make this one theirs. Artie and Sao takes down Kawaz, leaving just that secondary op of Lux in a 1v4. He misses the first shot, and he spammed down to 26. 8 secured for Young Sharks as Doc gets the shot from behind. Things finally clicking for this T side at a critical juncture.
A very critical juncture. That puts paiN on the back of a reset here as well. One last buy for the CT side. And they're going to go down to everything. Bigu and nyezin will have something left over, but it's not a lot. Bigu buys down to 900, so he's not really going to have much either. nyezin with 1900 is the only player above the 1000 mark. The entirety of paiN, and then NQZ gets caught trying to hit the cat jump. He connects the skill jump, but he's flashed, he's tagged, he's bagged. It's a very early man advantage for the Young Sharks. They're starting to take control of this T side now. nyezin at least finishes off togs, and RDN Zhao out towards ramp. That's the bomb at his feet. A critical game changer at this stage. He's low on health. biguzera spots out Doc and domes him twice. Just DRG and suplex left standing for Young Shark. All they can hope to do is fight their way back in. Regain control of the bomb has to be option number 1. But nyezin's flanking in through Palace. Lux coming through apartments and T-spawn, holding passively, making sure they cannot escape. Caught in the trap are the Sharks. And they're walking into the waiting arms of nyezin first. He spotted out the second as well. Suplex has a lot of time to try and kill. But is a save even worth it for him at this stage? Lux is here too! And Lux delivers the finishing blow from the brink. paiN strike back. Keep their money alive by keeping 4 up 2. And go within 2. Taking both best of ones here tonight.
Within 2, but Young Sharks had built up that T-side economy with some convincing victories. Now they'll dip into the coffers. Suplex should have no problem. He's contemplating the op at this point, and he will go for it. It is a hefty investment. A lot riding on this. Full buy for both teams, including the ops for Suplex and NQZ. Cal is thinking about getting cheeky in middle. Won't press all the way up, however. Luxon towards B. Could do a lot of damage with that nade. No, it's a little too early. Young Sharks are going to scale forward, get out. Doc taking point. Double dinked by Lux. A second spotted. Suplex doesn't want to drop Lux. biguzera backside fares no better. Artie and Sao does him in. And what looked like a rather stalled take. Gained momentum out the window. 3 versus 4. Cal is nyezin, NQZ. Compelled to save yet again in the 3 versus 4. And Young Sharks stave off map point with a victory in round number 20.
The B hold for paiN's non-existent right now. If I'm Sharks, I'm sending one guy to throw utility over towards A, and the rest of the team's going apps. No doubt about it. Keep bullying the B site until paiN can put a stop to it. Isolating that CT around is huge. Lux and biguzera can buy again. But it's going to be paiN again looking down the barrel of another potential save should they lose the round. That would give Sharks pretty much secured 11th too. Sharks are well within striking distance now. And paiN continue to flounder. I would like a timeout from them here.
Yeah, this is a rather critical time. They can get the investment in. It'll be solid, but as you mentioned, if they lose it, they'll be on a save. about the strat. It's been a lot of aggression from both teams. A very early commitment or an aggressive play towards ramp/apartments has been seen in most rounds. We'll have to see how paiN adjusts. Op for NQZ's in window. I like that call. Be given an opening. In fact, he's mollied away. Another walk B. You mentioned a punish B with some presence shown elsewhere. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Lux is going to try to take the duel. He's going to go into apartments. This might be great or it might be terrible. It's terrible. He falls immediately. Molotov thrown to try and stall the take, but Cowes has it all to do from catwalk. Not necessarily committing.
Look at Bigu. Coming underpass. Cue the Jaws theme. biguzera looks one way, spots another, grays down 2 before he falls, levels it out at 3. Massive play from the in-game leader, the captain of paiN. He was prowling, and he struck, and gives his team a chance here. Cowes does not spot DRG slipping into Con. nyezin, though, in hell. It's all down to timing. What angle is he going to be watching? DRG slipping through, wrapping into snipers, waiting, biding his time. It's his turn to be the shark lurking in the depths. Cowes, here's the footsteps underpass. nyezin is getting ready. Cowes spots the head of one. That smoke will guide the vision, but only for so much. Over the top. Cowes only good for 1. That's huge. Time is low. And nyezin still here. NQZ strikes for the 1 from catwalk. DRG smokes, caught in rotation, and paiN get themselves to map and match point.
Prevent the bomb plant as well. It was touch and go. It was pretty costly. But they secure that map point, that match point, as you mentioned. Young Sharks, though, are making a game of it. They have just enough to get a solid investment. Suplex is lacking a little bit of utility. He actually has no helmet. Hopefully that won't come to bite him against the M4s. We'll have to see if that one-shot headshot does him in. paiN, though, a solid investment as well. Albeit no money to back it up. If they lose this round, it'll be 10 and probably 11 for the Young Sharks. Good molly top mid from biguzera. It's about half damage. DRG. NQZ takes a similar amount early on. And Doc aggressive up underpass. Could be good for an opening. No, it's Bigu. The one to find it from right side window. Thinking about getting more as well. Artie and Zhao walking down below. It's a delicate spot for biguzera to play.
They fall off the boost on bricks, keeping the advantage. 5v4. nyezin again returns to his spot in hell. But biguzera, another crisp fight won. Buying time, Artie and Zhao backed up by nyezin. Bigu does not have to fight. He's now mollied out, but suplex swings. Bigu deals despite taking all the damage and causing a 1v5 to stay alive. It's probably not going to happen for him. And what a round it would be. A lot easier if he had the bomb on his back. But it's down top Con. nyezin pushes, nyezin punishes, and it's paiN again to take this one.
biguzera having a tremendous individual performance, picking it up immensely at the end of this second best of 1. Lux as well, being an ever-present player in both maps played today. paiN's individuals did wake up, albeit took a lot more to get the ball rolling on this second map when compared to the first.